We take zero deposits. We've never taken deposits. We never get stiffed. I've gotten stiffed on one job in total, and then I've had two that paid 90 some percent of their bill. Both of them were insurance jobs, and both of them wouldn't pay this little remaining balance that their insurance company wouldn't cover. So, in 10 years, I've had a total of the one job was $24,000, and then I got like 2 grand outside of that that we haven't got paid for. And we sell a lot of jobs on the spot because we don't take deposits. But um, we reiterate consistently throughout our automations and the initial appointment. It's a sales pitch. Hey guys, we take no deposits, but we do expect payment when we finish the job. We tell them that like two or three times throughout our sales process to all the way up to completion. Have a check ready at the completion of the project, not a week later. When we finish, have a check prepared because we're going to be there within 24 hours to do a final inspection and collect payment. RAR for residential retail is almost zero. Now, commercial is a whole different game. We have a bunch of commercial stuff that we got AR on, but our residential retail business has almost zero AR.
Yeah, because they're already prepared. How has that, you were saying have a check ready? How has that changed at all with Proline invoicing and the ability to collect those payments through there?
Absolutely.
Or you're just using that as like a figure of speech?
Yeah, so essentially I mean it's a figure of speech. We love ACH. That's great. My market is not real big on credit card usage. Honest to God, we don't even get that many people ask. Like it's just not something in my market that's real heavily used. But even if we show up, like we take some credit cards, we take some ACH. They understand when we do our final walk before we leave the driveway, we expect to leave with some sort of payment transaction, whether it's ACH card or a paper check. So, yeah, I mean, it just tees it up. It's just like asking for a 5-star review. Obviously you're teeing up that 5-star review at the sales call. You tell the people, hey, we want to give you a 5-star service and earn a 5-star review during the sales call, the sales inspection. You're going to tell them that all the way through the process because you want to earn the 5-star review. Well, guess what? I also want to get paid. I don't want to have a ton of AR. We did the job. We did it at no deposit. So I'm going to tee up. I'm going to have in your brain that don't forget, you owe me X amount when we finish. And we have no problem with it. That they understand that a callback is a warranty issue. That's not part of the 20 grand you spent and you get to hold 20 grand because you found some nails on the ground or a couple shingles are not laying flat or something, whatever. You don't get to hold 20 grand because of that. That's a warranty issue. You call me, we'll come make sure that that's taken care of within 24 hours. Hmm. And I mean, you can check our Google reviews. We have zero bad ones. So it works.
The deposit creates this mindset that, oh, I've paid you so that you come work. And now the second half is when I'm happy.
Yeah.
And everything. And
bullshit.
So it creates this mentality of, oh, that's my insurance policy against you doing anything. So I can see how with your approach, there's less of that because it sort of sets the stage right from the beginning.
I know this is off the tracks of what we were talking about, but I think it's the number one reason roofing companies go out of business. And I also think that it's super unprofessional to take a bunch of money from somebody for nothing. You haven't done anything. Why do you need paid? Like that makes no sense to me. Why do you need 50% of the project when you literally have done nothing? Like you've done nothing. And mind you, these jobs are 1 to 2 days. If you're in business for yourself, and I'm not trying to dog on the guys just getting started or anything like that, there are options. Credit cards, credit with your supplier, whatever. Like there's options. I've got credit with my supplier. I rack that bill up to $100 and some $1,000 a week. You know what I mean? I pay it weekly just so I don't get crazy. But regardless, how many contractors take all these deposits? They go buy these big fancy trucks because their bank account's showing a ton of money in it. They buy all this brand new trailers, brand new trucks. whatever, new hot tub in the backyard, whatever it is. Then as they start getting slow, the leads aren't coming in, so they're not collecting deposits, and they got this backlog of work. Guess what happens? They can't afford to buy the material for the project. You're out of business. Period. That's exactly how it happens. I've seen it so many times. But here's the thing. I'm a homeowner. There's no way in hell I'm handing somebody 10 grand at the sales call to know that they're not coming to do my roof for 3 to 4 weeks. That I'm not doing it. And why should you? There's no point. You didn't purchase anything. Yeah. So for us, we sign a lot of contracts at the point of sale simply because there's no money involved. Like, you don't have to do anything today. But I will tell you, the rebuttal will be, well, yeah, but people back out of your contract. Okay, so you're the ass that's going to keep somebody's 50% on shingles that can be 100% refunded. Does it really matter? You're still going to get a shitty review online. If you kept somebody's $10,000 deposit and you didn't do their roof because they decided to go another direction after they signed your contract, they're going to light you up online. Like, so there's no upside. There's zero upside.
Unless you are in fact overextended. That'd be the only, it's not even upside, but it's like there's no really good reason unless you are overextending yourself.
Yeah, and then you know what happens next? You overextend more. That's all that happens. That's all, because you're going to take $3 grand of that $10,000 deposit and pay your insurance and pay your payroll that was due last week, and now you're overextended even more. So that's not a way to run a business. The way to run a business is to, if you're in that position, hunker down, find places with credit that will let you pay in time to get you out of that bind that you're in, not to take a customer's money to get you out of a bind. That customer's money is for the project. The profit's after it's done. I think I'm the only one that says that. Everybody says you should, and I'm not bragging. I'm just saying I don't get it. Like, I do not get it. I think it's the craziest thing in the world to take these big deposits. I think it's the fastest way to get yourself in a really bad spot.
I like that mentality, especially with something as now. I think I feel differently about it if it's a long drawn out project, like a bathroom remodel. So it's like you're going to be in their home for 2 weeks on this. And so halfway through the job, so there is like a little bit more there's more cost up front. And because you're going to have to pay those guys that are sitting around the house. And then also there's a little bit more risk exposure. But like you're saying with a roof, it's like you're there for one day, so it's like, and all these programs, there's no need for it.
I still think it's wrong. I built houses with deposits.
Without deposits?
Without deposits. None of them. And I'll tell you why. You do a draw system, not a deposit system. So if you're going to be on this long drawn out process, bathrooms, I used to do them 1 to 2 weeks, right? Like max. 2 weeks is a long time in a bathroom remodel.
Yeah.
But if you're building a house or you're doing something that's really, month, 2 months, 3 months, something really long, you do a draw system, and then you get paid at certain stages of the project. So like we used to set it up where we would get paid when the rough framing was done. So once we had all the frame of the house up, we got 25%. We got our next 25% when all rough mechanical was in. So plumbing, electric, heating, and cooling. And then we dried it in. So shingles and siding and windows. We'd get another 25% when the drywall was hung. And then we get the final 25% at completion. So we had a process to where, and that, a house for us took, turnkey 3 months. We always were able to pay our bills each month with our suppliers because that draw was coming, that we could take care of those bills. So I had no money. So don't get it misconstrued. It's not like I had this huge operation with it. No, I had so much, money out and no money in. I mean, but we built off of that, and slowly my bank account got bigger and bigger, where cash was less of an issue.
And you're not overextended because
I'm never overextended. If I got to a point where I was absolutely stuck, there was one time. There's only been one time, and I about went bankrupt. And I called my supplier. I said, "Hey," it was Carter Lumber. I called Carter. I said, "Hey, I don't have it. The draw isn't going to come for another 2 weeks. We're just not there yet. Everything's going slow. It was middle of winter. It's just a bad time. We had 3 houses going at the same time. I said, I don't have the check. And I owed him like 160 grand. And then I owed my mechanical guy that does plumbing. He did plumbing, electrical, and heating and cooling. I owed him like 90 some $1,000. I called both of them and said, look, I can't pay. Like you're going to have to wait. You would be shocked at how these especially suppliers are more than happy to say, okay, we're just going to put a little fee on there for a late fee, but that'll give you a whole nother month. Perfect. I think they charged me like 1% or 2% or something like that.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just part of it. But I never gotten a point where um that particular job was an absolute catastrophe. But regardless, I didn't get myself to the point of filing bankruptcy because they owed me way more than I owed anybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And then also, if you have that reputation too of like you pay your bills, that's going to help too. So as long as if you're doing it the right way consistently over time, you build a reputation, then yeah, if when things do happen, you'll be able to fall back on that.
Build a relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's all about. My plumbing electrician guy, I used him all the time, always paid him quickly. And when the time came that shit hit the fan for me, he's like, man, you've always been good to me. Just get it when you can. And that's what we did. As soon as we had it, we paid it.